Are you plant-based eating, but wonder if there are nutrients you need to be concerned about? Maybe you haven't started your transition yet, but worry about missing out on key nutrients and don't know how to make sure you'll be getting all the nutrition you need eating this new way. You already know that certain nutrients like protein, iron, and calcium are important building blocks for the body. But what about micronutrients like iodine? Do you need to worry about that? That's what we're going to be talking about today. In this episode, let's look at the importance of iodine for our bodies and then some practical ways you can ensure you're meeting your needs as you're eating plant-based. This way, you'll have clear guidance moving forward and can enjoy the best nutrition on a plant-based diet. Ready? Meet me on the inside. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi friend, do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Over the years, I've seen a similar trend in some of my coaching clients. Before beginning to work together, some have already bought quite a number of cookbooks and plant-based diet info books. I remember one or two who even showed me visually the stack of diet-related books and cookbooks collected in their short plant-based diet journeys. So these clients already come with some basic knowledge about a plant-based diet. Yet they are still struggling to make a successful switch to this lifestyle to reach health and weight goals. And it usually turns out that there are one or more key elements missing. For some, it was a lack of knowledge on how to put together filling plant-based meals. For others, it was lacking smart strategies to beat cravings or to sustain plant-based eating in the midst of a busy life and schedule. For still others, it was a lack of affordable, simple, and quick-to-make tasty plant-based recipes. But once they came to me, it was usually easy to troubleshoot and identify their key transition issues, then work with them to overcome it so they can successfully move forward. Friend, if you're struggling to get started or have hit a roadblock in your transition, don't just stay stuck there. It's not worth the needless frustration, emotional energy, and stress trying to figure it out all by yourself. Reach out to me at healthnow@plantnourish.com so we can work to overcome it together, or see the contact links in the show notes. I want to give you the support and guidance you need to reach your health and weight goals this year. And like I tell my clients, if I don't know, I won't be able to help them. So it is the same with you. Let's connect. Now let's get into today's topic. Sometimes, when we're starting a whole new way of eating and living, it's hard not to feel lost and unsure, especially when it comes to plant-based eating. One big question may be this: how do I eat in order to get the best health and nutrition? And occasionally, I get posts asking specifically about iodine. A few weeks ago, this was exactly what I saw posted in my free Beginners for Plant-Based Diet Success Facebook group. A member shared this. She said, I have been on this diet for 6 months. I recently found out that my thyroid is out of balance and the root causes lack of iodine. Iodine is found in milk, cheese, shrimp, etc., all the things not included in this diet. What do y'all do to supplement for this element? I'm sure others may have questions like this, so that's why I brought this topic onto the podcast. Let's look more closely at this micronutrient now. First, what is iodine? Iodine is a trace element that our body needs in order to perform many critical functions. Perhaps the most familiar function of iodine is how it acts as a key component of thyroid hormones. We then depend on thyroid hormones to regulate biochemical reactions like protein synthesis, enzyme activity, and metabolic activity. Iodine may also play a role in immune response. It is naturally present in some foods and is also available as a dietary supplement. Iodine may also be added into some types of salt. Soil can contain iodine, but to varying amounts depending on location, and this naturally then affects the iodine content of crops grown. Now let's look at a second aspect of iodine. How much does one need? This really varies depending on the age and stage of life you are in. But for those 14 years of age and older, the recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, is 150 micrograms. However, if you are pregnant, the RDA increases to 220 micrograms, and if you are lactating, it increases to 290 micrograms. Iodine deficiency can not only negatively impact thyroid hormone production, but also growth and development, and result in significant cognitive impairments in infants and children. That's why it's important to ensure adequate iodine status, especially if you are on a plant-based diet. Now let's look at where to get iodine on a plant-based diet. As it turns out, seaweed is one of the best plant-based food sources of iodine. But the iodine content in seaweed can be variable due to different factors like the time of year the seaweed was harvested, its location, the type or species of seaweed harvested, and what the weather conditions are like in the growing area. Know that some types of seaweed, like kelp, come highly concentrated in iodine, so it is not recommended as an iodine source. Instead, the best kinds of seaweed to get your iodine from are from nori, dulse flakes, or arame. Arame is a member of the kelp family of sea vegetables like wakame and kombu. The amounts you would need are not a lot. It would either be 2 sheets of nori a day, the kind used for sushi rolls, or a teaspoon of dried arame, or a teaspoon of dulse flakes. Another option is to enjoy 1 tablespoon of a seaweed salad daily. The dried arame can be added into soups, while the dulse flakes can be sprinkled onto rice, salads, or soups. The seaweed salad can be enjoyed as is, just like the nori sheets. But if you include salt in your diet, then know that iodized salt is also an option. You can even buy sea salt that has been iodized, which should be evident from the product label. But aside from food sources, know that iodine supplements may be an option as well. I hope you see that there are many options you can choose from to help you meet your daily iodine needs on a plant-based diet. So today we looked at 3 key aspects regarding iodine on this podcast. You learned that iodine is a trace element needed for many functions within our bodies, the amount one needs, and what some good sources of iodine are on a plant-based diet. Now here's an action step you can take. If you haven't had a chance to try arame, dulse flakes, nori sheets, or seaweed salad, I hope you will venture to give one or more of them a try soon. Remember, friend, I'm here to help you reach the best nutrition and health on a plant-based diet. So reach out to me at healthnow@plantnourish.com or see the contact links in the show notes so we can look at your specific situation together. With the right guidance and support, you can thrive on a plant-powered lifestyle and reach the best health for your remaining years. So let's connect. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or iTunes to let me know. Nothing will lift me up more than to read your review and see how this podcast has made a difference in your life. I also pick reviews to read on this show, so your review could be one of them. Come connect with me in my free Facebook community group, Beginners for Plant-Based Diet Success. Just go to bit.ly/PB Diet Success. That's bit.ly/PB Diet Success. You can also subscribe and follow this podcast to get notified when a new episode goes live. Signing off now, this is Anna, and I wish you the best health always.